Okay, pause. That's already sounding real shakety to me. Look at this crazy. Look at this. What is he doing? Hello there, love bugs. Hello there, Bellas. If you have not already done so, please remember to like, share to Facebook, subscribe, and visit uptopbeauty.com. All of our shades are now on sale for $20. And if you are not already a part of this book club, please hit the Patreon link below and or the join button here on the YouTube, and for a small monthly fee of $5, you babies, yes, you can be privy to all the shenanigans before the YouTube gets it, if the YouTube gets it. Now, let's continue talking about Mary Wells. Whoa! In September 1986, less than 3 months after Sugar was born, Mary and Curtis were already back on the tour circuit, carrying Sugar with them. Mary was enjoying a series of concert dates in her old stomping ground, Michigan. These engagements attracted the usual adoring crowds. Some of them were there to hear Wilson Pickett, who was performing on the same bill, but many were there to see Mary, their favorite star. This was an international tour as well. After performing 2 shows on the first Sunday in September at the Heritage Theater in Saginaw, Michigan, Mary, Curtis, and Sugar were scheduled to fly to Toronto on Monday to perform for a week in the Imperial Room of the Royal York Hotel. The Toronto portion of the tour never occurred. What follows is what Mary told newspaper reporters about what happened. A limousine took Mary, Curtis, and Sugar to the Saginaw Airport, 90 miles north of Detroit, on Monday, September 8th. They were scheduled to catch an afternoon flight to Toronto for Wells' first performance at the Imperial Room that night. After the limo dropped them off, they were walking towards the terminal when a well-dressed young couple waved Mary over to their Mercedes, where they asked her for an autograph. The couple then asked her to slip into the back seat of their car to listen to a tape of a song they had written. Okay, pause. That's already sounding real shaky to me. Get in the back of my car? Like, why do you need me to get in the back of your car to listen to a song? Answer no. I can listen to the song out here on the sidewalk. What is this? What is this? The couple then asked her to slip into the back seat of their car to listen to a tape of a song they had written. Curtis and Sugar joined Mary in the back seat. After listening to the tape, Wells told them, "I like the tune, but I don't have a record deal," and therefore she was not interested in recording it. The couple got upset and said, "We'll convince you. We've come a long way." To kidnap Mary Wells? What is this, 1986? You be better off grabbing hold of Lionel Richie. What the hell? Anyway, Lou, you making way too much noise, Buddha. The husband locked the car doors and windows via the electric switches on the inside front door. He then started the motor and pulled away from the curb. Mary and Curtis objected, but the husband insinuated that he had a weapon. The husband said they would drive to California, where he insisted Mary would record their song. Pause. So this is already sounding like bullshit to me, because you mean to tell me the husband's in the driver's seat, the wife is in the passenger seat, and Mary Wells and Sugar and Curtis is in the back seat? Are you crazy? Me and my Judy was down Texas for All-Star. I forgot what year it was. It probably was 2005. It was in Houston. Child, I'll never forget it because it was cold as shit. We was down there with her cousin. He recently passed from diabetes. God rest your soul, right? Another Libra guy. We had gotten a ride from one of the guys that her Texan cousin or her Houston cousin knew. The guy who was driving in the front seat, and in the passenger seat, it was this other dude. Ooh, He was from New Orleans. This was after Hurricane Katrina and all the they call them refugees had migrated to Houston or different areas, right? Now, I'm not calling them refugees because that is a terrible word to describe them, but I'm just saying at the time, that's what they called the Hurricane Katrina survivors. Ooh, I never seen such like it before. You hear me? It was like I was looking into the devil's eyes. It was 3 dudes in the Yukon already, but it was enough seats in the car for all of us to get in. It was a dude in the passenger seat, and then it was the Hurricane Katrina dude in the second row. Me and my Judy had gotten the second row with the Hurricane Katrina dude, the devil. Her cousin had got into the third row and was sitting behind all 3 of us, right? Oh my God. My girlfriend, drunk as shiz off that Patroni, okay? She kept messing with the dude, right? And the dude was being real quiet. And my girlfriend was like, you don't want to talk to me? Oh my God, why you don't want to talk to me? Oh, what's wrong with you? And I whispered in her ear and I said, Judy, I think that one over there is a killer. You might want to leave that one alone. He said, what? Why would he want to kill me? I said, oh Lord, we ain't gonna make it. Behind us in the third row was her cousin. The cousin had had a situation with the dude from New Orleans at the gambling house, y'all. The Yellow House, that's what they called it. The Yellow House / the gambling house. The situation was the dude from New Orleans and some other dude from New Orleans had ran up in the gambling house and robbed everybody. The dude, my Judy's cousin, father was in the Yellow House / gambling house and was one of the people who got robbed. The dude from New Orleans was like, pull the truck over right quick for me. He told the dude that was sitting in the passenger seat, switch places with me. One, because he didn't want the back of his head facing her cousin who he had got into it with down there to the Yellow House. And because my Judy was getting on his nerves. So he had switched places with the dude in the passenger seat. Taking it back to Mary Wells, okay? So you mean to tell me you got a gun, you are kidnapping somebody, and you in the front seat? Man, you know how many ways you could have got out of that situation? Mary, reach down there and untie your shoes and give me your shoestring, please. And wrap it around the driver's neck and choke the fuck out of him. It's just wapaka. Somebody in the back of the head. Yeah, it's gonna be messed up. Y'all might, hit some ditches or something. And he ain't shown you the pistol, neither. He ain't shown you no weaponry. Oh my God, that is the worst place to be. Are you crazy? It's too many ways for you to get out of that situation for me to believe that this is real. The husband said they would drive to California where he insisted Murray would record their song. The car rolled into Indiana and continued west towards California as the husband's whining continued. I begged these people for 48 hours to please let us go, Wells said. At about 3 p.m. on Wednesday, September 10th, the apparently irrational husband and wife became nervous. As the car rolled into California, Mary finally convinced them that if they let her and her family go, she wouldn't contact the police. The couple stopped and let Mary, Curtis, and Sugar out near the desert town of Mojave, California, about 95 miles north of Los Angeles. Meanwhile, Mary had not arrived at the Toronto airport as scheduled at 5 p.m. Monday evening, nor did she arrive on any subsequent flight. This is really, really weird, her New York booking agent, John Regner, who was staying at the Royal York, told the Toronto Star on Tuesday, September 9th. Steve Cohen, Wells' manager from 1978 on, told the Star from Los Angeles on September 10th that the performer's disappearance was a matter of grave concern and would be reported to high-level authorities in the United States. I haven't heard anything, Cohen said. but I intend to call in proper and high-level authorities if it isn't cleared up by the end of the day. No one seemed to know where she is. She's not at her home in Los Angeles, and her friends and associates haven't heard a word from her. Regna said he and Cohen had called Mary's relatives, the Saginaw Airport Police, and hospitals in the Saginaw area, and had come up with nothing. He also said a relative of Mary's had registered her as a missing person with Michigan State Police on Tuesday. Mary's Michigan promoter, Max Oates of Flint, Michigan, told the Star that in Saginaw she had given 2 fine performances and seemed in good health and very happy. This is a real shock to me. When Mary, Curtis, and Sugar reached Mojave, they told their story to a reporter for the Mojave Desert News. Versions of the story appeared in the Toronto Star, the Miami Herald, the Orlando Sentinel, and other newspapers. The Mojave journalist noted in his story that Mary and Curtis hadn't reported the kidnapping to the Mojave police. Okay, let's press on. As it turned out, this was not in reaction to any promise made to their alleged kidnappers. Lying to a reporter brings no jail time. Filing a false police report may. All concerned insisted at the time that a kidnapping had taken place. Cohen noting that Mary had missed only 2 shows in the previous 7 years and that those were due to airline delays, told reporters the story was true and not a publicity stunt. I don't know about a publicity stunt, okay? I don't know about all that, but considering the fact that Mary has never missed an appointment and that she takes working seriously, okay, I would think that there was something really, really wrong. But you got to remember, she has the propensity to want to do that booger sugar, okay, and ride the white horse. If you want to ride, don't ride the white horse. All concerned insisted at the time that a kidnapping had taken place. Cohen noting that Mary had missed only 2 shows in the previous 7 years and that those were due to airline delays, told reporters the story was true and not a publicity stunt. We lost thousands of dollars in Toronto, he said, referring to Mary's engagement, which had been canceled due to her disappearance. Why would she be sounding terrified? That's hard to put on. Mary was described as dazed out and recovering at her LA home. Years later, in 2010, in an interview for this book, Curtis told the truth. The entire story was false. He and Mary had driven to Saginaw Airport and were scheduled to leave for Canada. They were all set to go when Curtis remembered he had mistakenly packed his ID into his checked baggage, which the airline had erroneously sent to another destination. Mary had her own ID with her and could easily have proceeded to the concert date that evening while Curtis waited in Saginaw for his ID to be shipped back to him. Although the concert date was a major engagement centered on Mary, Mary wouldn't cross the border without me, Curtis said in 2010. See, that's the bullshit right there. That sound like old Cancer Virgo situation. That's some bullshit to me. I told you, I don't respect people that they have to move as a duo. Because suppose one of you die. When the situation is like that, if you die not shortly after, the other person is going to die. Don't you want them to live? Not a Cancer and Virgo. If I die at 2 o'clock, I want you to be dead by 2:05. She said if he's checking into a hotel, then I'm checking into a hotel. Something freaked her out, Curtis said. He was never able to find out what it was. And the kidnapping story, Murray blurted it out, Curtis said, and aided by her convincing repetition and elaboration of the story to various reporters, it got legs. She wouldn't move without my guy. The kidnapping incident did nothing to diminish Mary's on-the-road popularity. In the summer and fall of 1987, 23 years after leaving Motown, Mary did 75 shows, all based mainly on her Motown hits. If some of those shows were two-day appearances, she was performing almost every night and week after week. That fall, however, a dramatic auto accident threatened to throw her off schedule.
Say that you love